Hello everyone, this is your girl undead host, Omega Lynch, and just when I thought I was done talking about Transformers, the G1ers pulled me back in. So I guess I gotta shred some Preds. Before I go a step further, if anyone says that I don't seem to get that G1 sells better, I want to say that I agree with you, so don't think you're winning the argument with me by saying that. And actually watch and listen to the whole video. I know attention spans have dropped a lot through the years, but the bulk of my videos ain't that long, so I think you all can manage to listen to what I'm saying. Then think about what I'm saying, then leave your comment, but don't go on the offensive because I said something that triggered you. You're probably too old to be that sensitive. Also, I know not all G1 fans are like this, however, most of you are, and these are the folks I am talking about. Now that being said, let's get back to the task at hand. Case in point, I came across a video asking why everyone hates Transformers Generation 1. Which is weird, because I can't think of a single TF fan that hates G1. If anything, it's the other way around. The G1ers hate the other TF lines, and the fans who enjoy those different versions of the franchise. Also, I know some fans, myself included, are getting tired of only seeing G1 characters. However, that doesn't mean me or any other TF fan hates G1. If anything, I like to think a lot of us TF fans are appreciative of G1 because if it wasn't for that cartoon, then we never would have gotten Beast Wars, Car Robots, or the Unicron trilogy. So I like to think that a lot of us TF fans who grew up in the 90s to the early 2000s are very grateful to it. So I don't know where this TF fan came to that conclusion that TF fans hate G1. He probably just assumed since the other TF fans like different versions of the Transformers, then that must mean those fans must hate G1. That feels like a very shallow way of looking at it, but okay, I guess. Anyway, I left a comment saying that G1 is not the problem, which it isn't. The G1 cartoon is not the problem. The problem is that Hasbro keeps going back to it, and they don't even use all the G1 characters. It's just the same characters over and over again, and they barely use characters like Hound, Trax, and Sandstorm. And when they do, they are done poorly, or they're poorly handled. And if G1 was so damn strong, how come it took something like Beast Wars to give it a second win? Also, I argue it's the other way around. Anyway, this doofus, who I'm assuming is a G1er, responded by saying Beast Wars didn't give it a second win. Transformers never really died. Before Beast Wars, there was G2 and the KB exclusives, whatever those were, which had no cartoon. Beast Wars also did not sell well in the first year because nobody liked damn toys to begin with. When they went to Season 2 and the Transmetals, then that's when everyone jumped on them. That's why I hate revisionist history of these young YouTubers who were like babies in the 90s, telling me, a grown man from the 90s, about Beast Wars. You know, just because you're older doesn't necessarily mean you're wiser. Just like being younger doesn't necessarily mean you're foolish. I want to point out quickly here that he says nobody wanted the toys. That may have been true for the kids who grew up in the 80s, but it isn't true for the kids of the 90s. As a boy growing up in that era of Transformers, I wanted those Beast War toys. Hell, at some point I was using Optimus Primal's catchphrase. I also wanted the TF toys that came after it. Of course, like most kids, they need to get their parents to buy them those toys. And all parents have a budget to work with, and they can't just spend all of it on toys. That money has to go to more practical things. And I'm willing to bet it was the same for this guy too, unless he came from a really rich family. Anyway, I responded by saying, you can deny it all you want, but don't act like the Transformer franchise is something like Spider-Man or Superman. It's one of those brands that can only survive by reinventing itself. And boy, I don't say it a lot, but when I do, man, is it annoying to tell a bunch of grown-ass men, if you can call them that, Transformers survived this long because it took risks with trying out new ideas and concepts by reinventing itself. Although if you try to tell the G1ers this, they will deny all of it and go on to say that of all the TF lines, G1 sell the G1 lines, G1 sells the best. And it's the real big money maker for Hasbro. However, if that is true, and I want you to think about this. I do mean critical thinking, not some emotional reaction to someone giving their thoughts on something. If G1 makes so much money, then Hasbro should have enough money left over to make toys from the other TF lines, like the Transmetals from Beast Wars or animated Megatron, or the Terracons from Energon, and many other TF lines as well. Instead, we get monstrosities like Onyx Prime and whatever freak show this is. And why is it when it comes to G1, we only ever get the same characters all over again? If G1 generates so much money for Hasbro, then why does Hasbro lay off hundreds of employees and are changing locations? If G1 is such a huge cash cow, like so many G1ers say it is, then why is Hasbro running into so many problems? And I'm sure some of it is due to price increase, because like I said before, parents have a budget and they don't want to spend all of it on toys that are needlessly expensive, plus even collectors have limits to how much they are willing to spend. And there are alternate means of getting the toys they want, either through eBay or toy conventions. Anyway, I got way off topic. Like I said before, nobody hates G1. And to make such a claim is just plain childish. And honestly, like the G1ers, and honestly, folks like the G1ers make me grateful that humans have a short lifespan. Because the sooner these nutjobs die off, better off the brand will be. Because these fans act more like Decepticons than the Autobots. And that's probably the greatest tragedy here. Optimus Prime always preached freedom is the right of all sentient beings, yet many of the G1ers act in the exact opposite manner, behaving more like Megatron than Optimus. Maybe that's why they want to go back to G1, because they identify more with the villains of that show than the heroes. Anyway, it's just crazy how these folks huff and puff even when they're getting their own way. They're still not satisfied. I like to think kids of the 90s and early 2000s are more open to new things, because every new year we got something new to look forward to. But oh no, to the G1ers, change is a bad thing. Everything must stay the same. And to their credit, change isn't always good, but it's not always bad either. And the reality is that change will happen, whether we want it or not. And I could say more, but I'd be rambling. And I don't know how to be more clear. Just because someone likes a different version of the thing you like doesn't mean they hate it. It doesn't mean those fans shouldn't get to see new and updated versions of the toy/characters that they like. Anyway, like before, if you like my content, subscribe and share the video. Also check out my books. I'll try to leave the link below. If I don't, play my other videos have links. Also, if there are any open-minded Transformer fans watching this and want to see a different take on the Transformers, then hop over to my playlist to check out my Transformer fan comics. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be back.